Okay, well, I could actually do an entire YouTube video on this, and I probably will now because this is actually a really good question. And it really boils down to what kind of narcissist you're dealing with. So for me, for example, the partners that I've been with in the past who are narcissists, you got to remember that narcissism is a personality style. So I was never in danger with any of those women, and I believe that those women really did love me. I don't think they were like these like malignant narcissists. And so in that regard, getting out of a toxic relationship looks like, okay, I feel like I'm crazy and I feel like my partner may be a narcissist, but I'm not sure. So before I go blowing my entire fucking life up, am I doing every single thing as a man that I can to ensure that my side of the quote unquote, my side of the street is clean? Like, does that make sense? So if you're trying to become the best version of yourself, if you're going to therapy, if you're getting help, if you're into personal development, all these things, that's the best place to start to make sure it's not you. Now, whether you do that or not, man, like that's up to you. Like you can, that's integrity, you know, so it depends on like what kind of man you want to be. But with all that being said, there just comes a time when you have to pull the plug. For me, what that looked like is a Friday afternoon, we had been in a non-talking fight for like 2 months. I was living in the basement. It was fucking awful. It was the worst one that there was yet. I think she was reverse discarding me, but it doesn't matter. And I just had to get help. And so I had, my sister literally drove from Illinois all the way out to Montana. And while she was gone at work or wherever the fuck she was, I packed up all of my shit and moved out. And that was that. I mean, they knew it was coming. I told the boys goodbye, and it fucking was painful and terrible and awful, but it just was what it was. And it just was what it was. I had to explain to the boys, like, you know, dad has to leave. Like, you know, I have to do this, right? So yeah, that's how that went. And they understood because they fucking get it. Kids understand, right? And so that's how that one went. Now there's another type of narcissist, but there is another type of narcissist, and that narcissist is a dangerous motherfucker, and he's most likely a dude. Now, my mother, for example, was married to my stepfather for like 33, 34 years, and that he's unstable. And we were scared of my stepdad for fucking ever. We weren't sure if he was just as likely to shoot us in the middle of the night as he was to, you know, talk shit to us or whatever. So when I had to rescue my mom in 2020, finally from that relationship, it was fucked up, man. Like we had to have the cops out there. We had one shot. Like we planned the cops to come meet us. We had to call the sheriff's department. We got the trailer out. We had a bunch of help. We were in there getting the stuff that we needed out of the house. And so what it looked like is we had to make sure my mom was safe first and foremost. And then for like 2 weeks, we were setting things up behind the scenes. We were getting a new apartment. We were lining all the help up, all the moving parts. And so when it was time to move, it was like, boom, in and out as fast and as safe as possible. And so if you're dealing with that style of narcissist, then you're probably going to have to go a route where you have the authorities involved and you're setting everything up before the fact.